Hello, everybody. Welcome back into the NJCAA Network studio here in Charlotte, North Carolina. I'm Zach McKinstry. Alongside is Alin Edward. We've got JUCO Cover 3 for you today. Excited to talk about some of the top matchups last week. There were plenty and plenty more to come. So, Alin, thanks for being here. Excited to see you again, and let's talk some JUCO football.
Let's get it. Let's get it.
No other place to start than with the national championship rematch between number 2 Iowa Western and number 1 Hutchinson, and it lived up to all the hype. Back and forth game with a thrilling finish, but I was really impressed with the poise of Christian Johnson. 294 yards, 3 total touchdowns, including the game-winning touchdown, and I don't know if you saw this, Alin. He got absolutely popped the play before, comes back in, throws a fade route, game-winning touchdown. What did you like about Johnson's performance and Hutchinson's as a whole?
Well, his poise, you know what I'm saying? And this is the quarterback, that was playing last season. So he kind of knows, he's kind of familiar with Iowa Western's game. And, he wasn't uncomfortable like the whole game, I would say. But, again, it was a defensive game, you know what I'm saying? So this is what we both expected. That both teams struggled in the third quarter just trying to get into the touchdown. Ended up having field goals. And, again, Johnson came in and just threw that fade route.
Yeah, and then on Iowa Western's side, 4 of 13 on third down, and they just could not get Daniel Swinney going. He had 17 rushes for 43 yards, averaged just 2.5 per carry. Defensively, there was a lot of good, but a lack of discipline late. So what were some positives that you can take away if you're a Reavers fan?
As an Iowa fan, it shows that they're willing to fight regardless, you know what I'm saying? And you got to know who you're going up against, you know what I'm saying? Hutchins for sure is number 1 team, but they didn't obviously back down from that, and they got that fight in them, and you can't count them out anyway because they're going to be up there for sure. So that's a team that you shouldn't be worried, but you should also be happy that they put up a fight with the number 1 team in the country.
A 3-point game on the road as well. So Iowa Western, obviously, still a lot of football to be played on their side. 2 top 3 teams fell this week, the other being number 3 Northwest Mississippi at EMCC. We hinted at the possibility of the upset last week, Alin, and the Lions came to play. They jumped out to a 24-0 lead in the first half, including 2 drives that went over 90 yards. Raj Waldrop, the quarterback transfer from Georgia State, I believe, 305 yards through the air. And then East Miss staved off the comeback to win 34-28. But the story of this game was Gavin Griffin, the Camden, Mississippi native, put himself on the map, 189 rush yards, and he added 36 more through the air, finished with 3 total touchdowns. So how impressed were you by this performance?
I was highly impressed by them. Again, we knew what was going to happen, and we kind of predicted exactly what was going to happen. And East Mississippi actually needed this win, you know what I'm saying? But if they would have got this loss, who knows how the playoff and all that stuff would have happened. But you can't count them out. And Gavin, for sure, that's exactly where I was going to go. I think he was a big difference in that game. East Mississippi, I just went back to look at the stats. They weren't really, they had 101 yards like the week before, but I think Gavin really made the impact of this game. And, of course, the quarterback who came in throwing for 300-plus yards and a touchdown.
You can't stack losses in Mississippi or it's going to hurt you come playoff time. But EMCC getting back in the win column in a big way with that dub over Northwest. And then in Texas, Tanner Jacobson's squad continues to roll. The number 5 Apaches defeated number 11 Trinity Valley 31-13. It seems like everything was clicking. It was another 24-0 lead at the half. Trey Guerra looked great again with 280 pass yards and 3 total passing touchdowns. And the defense was flying all over the place. 7 pass breakups, and linebacker TJ Williams, 11 tackles and a sack. So you see Tyler as a real threat, not just to make the 14 playoff, but maybe even compete with the top dogs for a national title this year?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure. I was sitting yesterday, and we're going to label Trey as the number 1 quarterback of this year's. Trey been playing phenomenal since last year, and then he came back this year, and he's doing the same thing. So we're going to name him our number 1 quarterback. And for Tyler, when you have a defense like Tyler, it's a good position for the quarterback because the quarterback can go out and keep scoring, knowing that his defense is going to get the ball back for him. So Tyler, man, as a whole with JUCO, that's a team we cannot sleep on, and man, I would love to see him in the playoffs for sure.
Yeah, and that's JUCO Football Frenzy. Make sure to check out those rankings and previews as well. Before we wrap up, Alin, I didn't tell you about this beforehand, but I do want to give some love to the NJCAA D3 football slate. Number 2, North Dakota SES got a big win on the road against number 4, Minnesota West, 38-20. But take a look at this box score. 8 takeaways, a big day on the ground, but 8 total passing yards for the team that put up 38 points. I don't know if I've ever seen that before, but a great game, a great comeback, and a tone-setting win for the Wildcats.
Okay, dang, that's pretty wild, and that's some impressive stats right there for that to happen. Wow, we need to tap into those games for sure.
Always something going on in NJCAA D3 football, but congratulations to North Dakota SCS and a big win there. That wraps up our recaps from last week. Let's dive into some previews next week when we come back from this break. Stay with us. JUCO Cover 3.
For the last 87 years, the NJCAA has provided academic and athletic opportunities to thousands of student athletes. However, several rules make it more challenging for two-year college transfers. Recently, 16 national coaches associations, led by the National Fast Pitch Coaches Association, sent a request for change to NCAA leadership to make the rules the same for all transfers. We commend their leadership and stand together in support of same game, same rules.
Credit Union One Free Checking has everything you need to bank on the go, make deposits and more with our highly rated mobile app. And get your direct deposit up to 2 days sooner with CU1 Early Pay. Open your account in minutes at creditunion1.org.
Introducing CU1 High Yield Checking, the account that rewards you for everyday banking. Earn up to 5.25% APY when you make qualifying transactions each month. No minimum or opening balance required. Get started at cu1.com/high yield checking.
Welcome back on JUCO Cover 3. Zach McKinstry and Alin Edward as we dive into the previews coming up this weekend. And not a ton of marquee matchups on the slate this week, but the lone ranked game is number 11 Lackawanna against number 8 Georgia Military. It's the first of 2 matchups between these two sides this year, but it's a fantastic chance to figure out where each of these teams are. So for Lackawanna, they're transitioning to NCAA Division II in the next couple of years. They're going to the 4-year level. So this is the year to kind of leave their mark on junior college football. And then for Georgia Military, they've already had a loss to Iowa Western this year. So there's really no room for error the rest of the way if they want to make the playoffs. So thoughts on this one, Alin?
Well, for Lackawanna, congrats to them, moving up. That's a team that produces a lot of, D1 players from Jaquan Brisker, who's a safety, and Jalen Brown, who's playing for the 49ers right now, who's also a safety. So Lackawanna's for sure. That's a team that, that's always been winning. But for Lackawanna, I've noticed the 2 games they played weren't, competition teams, respect to those teams. But now they're coming into playing some dogs now in their schedule. And for GMC, they're going to come out and play. Like, I would never count them out either. That's a team that's going to climb up on you. And Lackawanna, if they want to win, they need to show up. And for Georgia Military, they need to continue to win so they can get on that playoff pole.
Yeah, and that's kind of the knock against both of those teams is that they're far away from a lot of the rest of the D1 NJCAA competition. So they have to schedule games against opponents that aren't in the rankings or aren't Division I. They're Division III. They're put in a tough spot. So this is kind of their chance to prove that they deserve to be in that top 15 ranking. Another one we're looking at this week is number 6 Navarro against Receiving Votes Kilgore. The Rangers are coming off a disappointment last Saturday, a 14-point loss to New Mexico Military, but they return home after shutting down feisty NEO squad last week for Navarro. Marquise Hill has been a menace through 2 games, 8 total tackles, 2 sacks, 2 forced fumbles, and a PBU. So do you think any chance he'll have success against Ryan Shackleton in this Navarro offense?
I'll say Navarro might take this one. They lost a game earlier. I just can't think of the team who they lost to. I think it was Garden City. But they lost to Garden City in the first week and they won this week. So I think, they found their chemistry as a whole. Not saying they lost that chemistry, but I just see Navarro just winning this game.
Navarro's got, a tight window as well already with that early season loss, but Garden City is good. They're up in the rankings in the top 4 right now, as well as Tyler. So it is an interesting top 4 at the start of the season. I'm sure we'll have some changes, but as it stands, it is Hutchinson, Iowa Western, Garden City, Tyler in that top 4. So, Alin, any other games you have on your upset watch this week?
Nah, I don't have any games right now on my mind or looking through the schedule. I haven't seen any upsets yet.
Yeah, it all seems pretty straightforward this week, but whenever you say that, it always comes back to bite you. So we'll see if there are some upsets from some of those smaller teams taking down some of the big dogs. So we'll wrap up, and when we come back, we'll have our JUCO stock risers. Alin is going to break down some of the film from some of the top NJCAA players to watch. So stay with us on JUCO Cover 3.
What makes a life a good one? Is it our adventures? Or the friends we find along the way? Is it the challenges we conquer together? Maybe it's the people's lives we touch every single day. So, what makes a life a good one? You'll have to figure that one out for yourself.
Good morning.
Why so serious? Great shot.
Car was 250. You got it.
Greenside bunker, land short.
Trust your line.
There's plenty of green.
Brakes towards the water.
Lots of coaching today, huh?
We're one up.
When you strive to be the best, you need the right insights. Zurich has insurance solutions and risk strategies to help prepare your business for tomorrow.
We're back on JUCO Cover 3. We continue to highlight some of the top players across the junior college landscape. This week we are staying with defense, going to Georgia Military, as Alan's got more on one of their top DNs.
Oh, yeah. Speaking of Georgia Military, Josh Warren, he's the DN for them, about 6'3", 230. He's a guy that could bend the corner and go after the quarterback. As far as like how football has been changing, DNs are becoming more athletic. And Josh just got that get off, that get off speed, could bend the corner and get after the quarterback. He actually been blowing up this week too. Picked up offers from FIU, Old Dominion, who just beat Virginia Tech this past weekend, and he also has Kennesaw State. So this is the end we should be looking at, throughout the whole season. Like I said, he stands out, just coming off the ball and just going after the quarterback. Seems like he dislikes running backs and quarterbacks for some reason, because once he gets off the ball, he's just off the running. For sure.
Yeah, I know all those schools that have sent him offers are going to be watching this weekend too against Lackawanna to see if he can do it against some of the top competition in junior college. But keep a lookout for Warren and the rest of that Georgia Military team as we wrap up today's episode. So a good one, Alin. Talked a lot about some of the top matchups last week and some of the best ones to come this weekend, and we'll be back again next Thursday. So thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next time here from Charlotte on JUCO Cover 3.